Alright everybody, we're back. SUMARI Dark Arts 65th video. SUMARI to everybody out there. Alright, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, guys. A lot. Let's just trying to get into my iPhone over here, cause alright, let me just jump right into it. Check it, right? On the last video, which got some good responses, good questions too. For example, there's going to be 2 points I'm going to touch in this video. The first one is from a question from, I don't know how to pronounce his name, man. Aylimao? Well, Ayylemao. I apologize if I botched your name up there. But, very good question. The person wrote, "Hello, Seth. Within this community, there seems to be a bit of debate on whether speaking to people in the out-of-body states is actually them, your manifestation of them, or their subconscious. Maybe you could elaborate where you stand on the subject, either via video or even through a comment. Glad to see you back." Thank you, Ayylemao. But all right. Now, this is gonna be. I'm gonna hit on 2 points in this video, right? Because that comment combined with one from Gypsy Rose, who also wrote to me 1 day ago. "Great video. I thank you for sharing your wisdom. I just went to send you a message on your YouTube page hoping you could help me with an issue I've been having with a deceased ex-husband that has been causing me great distress. Hope to hear back from you." Okay. Thanks again. I will promote you on my blog and spread your wisdom with others. Peace to you. Thank you, Gypsy Rose. And thank you for watching. Everybody, thanks for watching. And thank you for saying that bit about promoting me on your blog. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate things like that. When other people share this information, it gets out. It's not about me. It's just about the information, you know. That's what it's all about. So, yeah, all of you, I mean, you don't have to. You know, I'm not selling shit, but I'm just saying, if you feel this is good information, share with other people, pass it on. If you have a blog, you know, you gotta do it heavily, but just throw a video up, whatever you feel is your favorite one. Just throw my video up, you know, let's get the word around, man. Let's get this shit popping. But, all right, so Gypsy Rose and Ayylemao. I'm going to touch on both of these, right? Because, and just a quick note, I see like in the last video I said my name, but it's funny because like, my name is Toro, right? But people still keep referring to me as Seth, and I don't have a problem with that, you know. It's like, hey, like I said, the names are not important, and I go with the flow, you know. So it's like, I just wanted to put my name out there just so people know that I wasn't trying to be a fake or a phony or a fraud or whatever, or trying to copy anybody. But being the type of information we're dealing with, you know, if you feel comfortable just calling me Seth, or if, you know, for me that's a recognition of you seeing the Seth within me, you know. And I see the Seth within you. We all have our own Seths. We all have our own Sumaris. We all have our own angels, gods, demons, all that is. I mean, it's all the same shit, you know, but I appreciate it. So for me, that's like an honor, you know, if people want to refer to me as Seth. I'm not comparing myself to Jane Roberts' Seth, but I appreciate the recognition of at least seeing me as a fellow multidimensional being that is bringing information to others that might not be equal to, but at least from my own perspective and, you know, with my own side take on it, you know, my own take on it. But anyway, enough of that shit. Back to the story, right? All right. So, all these people we're talking to in these other states, out-of-body states, trance states, meditation states, all these states, right? Are these really the people we're dealing with? Or is it just some manifestation? Now, this is very complex, right? Because it's like yes and no. On the one level, you figure, I'm gonna have to go multi-dimensional on this shit, man, because it's like, it's easy to say, oh, this is just a fabrication of your own mind. If you want to take it from a psychological point of view, so yeah, it's just your subconscious, it's building all these things up, but at the end of the day, it's still real, you know? So it's like, what Gypsy Rose wrote to me, right? Now, I'm not going to go into specifics because this is a video and it's public, and I don't want to put her information out there like that, but being that she did post, and Gypsy Rose, you did post on my page saying that you were having problems with a deceased ex-husband, I can go into it that much, you know, without giving any big details. And as I speak in this video, just read between the lines of what I'm saying, and you know, speaking about you. But yeah, in your situation, Gypsy Rose, with your husband, I know you told me that there was some, you know, just infidelity going on towards the end of the marriage on his part, and unfortunately, he passed away before you guys could reunite and get back together and make things work. But as far as him coming after you and, you know, basically harassing and stalking you in your dream states and all of this, I'm not going to sit here and say, no, it's not him, it's your subconscious mind, you're creating all this by yourself, because you pay big money to go sit in someone's office and they're going to tell you that same shit. And at the end of the day, they're going to be like, well, how do you feel about this? What do you think you should do? All right, $1,000, please, you know. But, and you mentioned that you had went to a shaman, or you seen a shaman that was on the internet, YouTube shaman, and he basically told you to go into an astral adventure and kill him. You know, everybody has their own style of teaching, man, and I'm not saying that mine is the best of all time. I'm just one of many coming along, dropping my piece and saying what I have to say. But I don't think that's probably the best recommendation. I mean, there are times when that line of action does work and it is effective, you know, to take something on in the dream state in the astral realms and finish it all that way, and you have your closure. But when you're dealing with real emotions, as far as like loved ones or people that you did love and have close connections with, it might not be the best way to just think, all right, let me just fucking kill him off in the dream state or go on an astral adventure and get rid of him that way. Because this is why, right? You have to remember that you're dealing with emotional realities, and emotional realities, they're real. And we have this because the way our modern society's set up with science and all this other bullshit, like, they make us feel that emotions are not real, but emotions are real, and symbolism is real to an extent that you don't over, you know, obsess about it. But for example, right, check this out. When you have a dream state, right, and this is anyone who says, oh no, well, it's just a fabrication, my own mind, doesn't matter. When you, let's say you have a dream about your family, right, you're conscious, your lucid dream and conscious dreaming, you know this is, you know, a creation of your own manifestation or something else. All right, well, since you, if you want to go logically and think in a logical way, say, all right, well, since I know this is real, why don't I just pick up this axe and I just kill my parents or kill my father, kill my mother? It's really difficult to do that, even though you know that this is a fabrication. Or not fabrication, but meaning like this is your own manifestation. This is something that you're creating. You're conscious that this is not, actions here won't affect, like if you kill your parents in that reality, your real parents are not going to die in physical reality. But many of us would find that hard to do because there are deep emotional connections to the symbolism of your family, the symbolism of a loved one. And then there's guilt that you have to worry about. Deeply rooted guilt complexes that could follow after that. It's like, and this applies to all of us, like even me, you know, like, hey, I'm in this reality, right? I know I'm multidimensional and all that shit, but it's like, I still have parents that helped escort me into this reality, and I have deep connections to them. And it's like, even when I'm in these other realities, and, you know, I'm in the dream realm or whatever, I'm astral traveling and all this stuff, and I find myself in a situation, let's say, for example, like I'm with my parents, and here comes this guy with a machine gun or whatever, something crazy. Now, I know that I could just take off, you know, and just leave this, you know, pseudo-form family that I have here that looks like my family. I can just take off and leave them there to die. But I've been in those situations where I just can't do that, you know, and I fight to the death in these other realms to protect my family. And as I'm doing this, I'm conscious. I know that this is not my actual physical family. And I'll just wake up in the morning and hopefully they'll be there if nothing's happened while I've been in this other realm. But yeah, I can't leave them because it's the symbolism. And if I just left them, I wake up feeling bad. Now, that feeling might carry on into the rest of the day for some people. You might just wake up and feel bad momentarily for a few seconds, then it's over. But the point is, whether it's long term or not, that emotion carries on with you from that non-physical realm into the physical realm. So this is why many of us will find it difficult to even fathom the idea of killing off loved ones, even in a dream state, even when you're conscious, even when you know you're creating this shit yourself. You just can't do it. Now, are we really talking to these people? Now, let's get on that for a minute. Don't worry, Gypsy Rose, I'm going to get back to your story in a minute. But yeah, are we really talking to these people? Well, you got to remember, right? From the perspective of multidimensionality, basically, and this is like just really simplified, but we're all simply just all that is, experiencing itself subjectively. So whatever you call God or Allah or your interpretation of it, we're simply all just an infinite number of manifestations, because God, all that is in all of its infinite capacity, it can't manifest itself into one reality. So it has to disperse itself throughout universes and other realities and realms of belief. So basically, we're just talking to ourselves, you know, and this is me, all that is, and like all that is just experiencing itself. So what I'm trying to say is, like, we're all connected, you know, everything's connected, man. And it's like, when I say in that last video where I went into how I helped someone, you know, make this connection, or at least I passed on a message to someone who had passed away, you know, we could argue, did they get that message? Well, yeah, because since we're all one, and we're all just different manifestations of all that is, basically anything that you send out to the universe, it's like sending an email to yourself. You know, it's like you get an email, you want to send something important, or a letter, and you address it to yourself. And you send it, and it comes right back to you. And you go, oh, wow, look at this. I just won $1 million. You know? But you just sent that letter to yourself. So it's like, it's not really a shock. But it's a shock if you don't understand how all of this stuff works. Because then you go, oh, my God, yeah, man. You know, I sent this message to my dad, and then, you know, I made contact with him. We were talking, and this, and that. But was it really him? Of course it was him, because you're already connected, man. So when we dream about people, that's why you have to be careful about things that you do in dream states. I'm not trying to put fear out there, but it's like, if you are easily the type of person to suffer from guilt complexes, and you know that, you know, you easily feel bad about things, I wouldn't recommend going into any realms of realities and start killing people off and doing all that kind of stuff, because you might not be strong enough to get over the guilt complexes that might follow. But you shouldn't have any, because, you know, really at the end of the day, we're all manifesting our own realities and stuff. So I feel like I'm straying for a minute, because I just woke up, guys. If I seem like I'm babbling, I just woke up, literally. You know, just bear with me here. But back to Gypsy Rose's story. So you feel that, you know, he's kind of been harassing you from this other realm. I'm not going to tell you this is not real, because it is real for you. At the same note, though, on the same note, at the same time, I don't want you to stress too hard about this and feel like, you know, because from what you told me in your story, right, it's like, basically things didn't end too well, and then like he was kind of like trying to be a player on the side towards the end of your marriage, and you got divorced, and then you had your own way of dealing with that and doing certain things to get back at him, which is understandable. You know, you can understand that. And then, you know, long story short, things just didn't play out the way you expected it to, and then he ended up dying. So you have to remember, you could be suffering from guilt from just all of that, combined with the guilt of not feeling like you had that closure, that proper closure, and expecting that you were going to get back together, and he suddenly passed away. So, what you could be doing is just simply, you have manifested your guilt, or you feeling bad about this situation. It may not even be guilt, just the bad emotions that follow behind this and how you feel have manifested into this form of him. And however the marriage was going at that time, if there was like a lot of negative things going down and just shit you didn't like, of course that's going to manifest too. So all these beliefs, even though you're happily married now, you got a new husband, you feel great. That's what I wanted to say. It just came to me, the void. My inner self just threw the image into my head. What I'm trying to get at all this is like, right, we have to stop reactivating old cellular memory. And that's what we keep doing. It's like, I know this is easier said than done, but it's like, if you keep focusing on your ex-husband and he's trying to get you and he's harassing you in these other states, you're going to keep creating that energy, and it's going to keep appearing. It's not going to go away. And what happens is, the more you think about that, right? See, this is going to go a little high level now for some people, but all time is one. And we're all dealing with one reality. There is no past, present, or future, right? And when I say stop reactivating cellular memory, it's like, every time you think of those negative situations that happened when you were with your ex-husband, that probable self of you that's existing in another timeline, which is happening now, that's still involved in that marriage, you're creating an association and a connection between the both of you. So that other you, that probable you, and that other reality that's still going on in that marriage, that's happening at this very moment, you're creating this connection between them, between you two. And you're pulling all that energy into your reality, and it's manifesting itself through these dream images that you're having of him coming after you. And it's very real. I'm not saying let's just say, oh, this is not real. It is real. That's how powerful we are. You've actually manifested him, and all his negative attributes that you feel are negative have come along with that. And even though this is a creation of your own manifestation, it's still real. And this is a real individual. I mean, that's what we get confused. We say, oh, well, it's not real, it's just a dream. No, this is a real character. This is your ex-husband, or at least not the ex-husband that you knew, but a very good copy of him that exists in his own reality. And the things that you told me, he is doing those things, as sadistic as they seem, he's carrying on like that in this other reality. But it's like, you created him, from the worst points of his character. So now, to give you a little motivation, a little confidence, being that you did create him, that means you could uncreate him as well. Realizing that he is a manifestation of your own power, you could just as easily get rid of it. But yeah, it's like, just to jump back for a minute, that other you that's going on, you created that chain link from that other reality. So it's like cellular memory, every time any of us, and this is not just for Gypsy Rose, of course this story applies to all of you and all of us out here. Every time you think of old memories, negative memories that you think were negative, oh, this was a bad time in my life, this was fucked up, I hated this time, that other you that's in that reality right now, you're creating this type of psychic link. And all that, the common points that you have with that other self that's going through that experience now, you're making a connection. So all that shit is coming back through to you, and you're starting to experience it. And you're walking around like, damn, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel so dark? Why do I fucking hate everybody? And it's like, because the other you that's going through that, you're supporting each other, basically what I'm trying to say. So it's like, even though you're not going through that now, you're making that psychic link. You're backing up his situation or her situation that's going through whatever fucked up stuff is going on, and then it's backing up your negativity on this end, where you're feeling like shit, So what's the solution? How do we do like enough of this Dr. Phil shit? Like, what's going on? How can you handle this? Well, there are a number of ways. For me, I always say like the best way is, and I know this is gonna sound really cheesy, like some ABC special shit, but it's like, look, man, we're in this reality, and it's like, I keep saying this, and I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. you have to understand your connection with all that is. You have to understand that you are this manifestation of all that is. And why is that so important? Because once you can truly, like, well, this kind of pisses me off. I'm going to say it. Not about you, Gypsy Rose, but other individuals I've spoken to. They'll come in, they'll be like, yeah, I know. I'm all part of all that is. I'm a part of God. I'm a manifestation of the one, the creator. But, last night, I saw, some Fraggle Rock characters and they were trying to kill me. I think it's a demon. I think it's Eddie Murphy. It's like, what the fuck, man? Come on. You can't say you know that you're a part of all that is and then go back and say, but. There's no buts. If you truly say and truly believe and truly, not even believe, know that you're a part of all that is, simply just going through one of its many physical incarnations in this reality, then that gives you the power to sidestep a lot of shit. I'm not saying that life is going to be like a walk in the park and you're going to be jumping around butterflies and stuff, but that would be cool. But anyway, but at the same time, it's like, it gives you a lot of leeway, the concept of all that is, because then you go like, well, yeah, that was a fucked up dream, or this is a fucked up experience, but you confront these things. And what I would advise to you is, I don't know how adept you are in your lucid dreaming abilities, your astral traveling, but if you are adept and if you are on a certain level, and maybe you're not because you're experiencing all these things, you have to start building yourself up on becoming more conscious in your dream states, practicing your ability. These are real abilities. What I'm talking about, I'm not just saying like, oh yeah, practice your dream states, All these people out here, they talk about the same lame shit, man. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bash people, but they're not taking it any further. It's like, oh yeah, how to get lucid, turn the light switch on and off, and check your hands during the day. All that's nice. But we got to go beyond that. We got to go into some other realms. That's good for like beginners, but sometimes if you want to advance, you got to tackle the advanced stuff and go from there. And I know that a lot of people might disagree with that, but it's like, if you sit around, and if it's like me, if I sit around and keep giving you guys stuff like, and I have never really went into that in any of my videos, but if I sit around going for 10 years, yeah, see, you got to check your hands during the day, you got to get your dream journal out, all valid. But if you hear me say, no, what you have to do is you got to go in the bathroom, you got to light those candles, you got to get the hot water going, deep meditate. People say, oh my God, it's fucking scary. I don't like this, man. But this is like you pushing yourself to the limit. You could do that shit forever. Sitting around, do a little 5-minute meditation, check your hands during the day, see if you're lucid. When you have a lucid dream, you turn the light switch on and off, and that you'll be on that for like fucking 10 years and never advance. So where I'm at and other people are at. So for you, Gypsy Rose, this is what I gotta say. Check this out, right? First, you're gonna go into. I recommend you to start doing your deep meditations, right? You go into a trance. You gotta start building yourself up for how do you want to handle this situation? This memory of your ex-husband. Do you want to just erase him from your reality completely? Is he a pest like that on that level? You have to decide for yourself, but it's like you have to understand, most importantly, he has no power over you. This thought form has no power over you. Why do I keep saying, I know everyone say, well, how do you know it's not really her husband? Maybe it's an evil spirit. Maybe he's trapped on earth. Let me tell you guys this, right? There's a lot of stuff going on in other realities. When you die, right? And this is why a lot of people say, well, how come, just for example, it's like, oh, well, my mother passed away. Why haven't I seen her? I've said this before. When people die, like, there's so much entertainment and things going on. They don't even look at this place, and it's like, at some point, like, once they get over, like, all the excitement, they might double back and come round and come visit you at some point and visit you to your dream states, but they got a lot on their plate, man, so there's a lot of shit they're dealing with, and if they were conscious of all this, or if they had a certain level of, proficiency. There's so many things going on. It's like the last thing, it's like you go into a video game store, right? This is the gamers out there. Let's say you go into a video game store and they got, Game Boy, first generation, Atari, all these old ass game systems, and there's a fucking PlayStation 4 sitting up on the table, and it's like, you'll look at the Atari and the Game Boy and the Nintendo system and the Super Nintendo, and you go, oh yeah, I remember that. That's nice. But whoa, look at this shit over here, and you jump on the PlayStation 4. You're not gonna be thinking about all the good times I had with Nintendo. Now, I'm not saying that your family members see you as an old ass Game Boy, but I'm simply saying is like they love you, but they move on, and for you, Gypsy Rose, it's like don't think about this is your husband coming after you. Even if that was true, you never know. I mean, really, it's up to you to determine that. But even if you felt that was true, still don't go along with that idea, because then you're still giving him that power. I don't give a fuck who's dead or who's not. No one controls you. No one has power over you. You always have the power, and unfortunately, I hate this. I have to say this. A lot of people think when you die, you become all spiritual and one with the universe and all this. And then if you're an asshole when you're alive, suddenly you become all angelic. No, if you were an asshole when you're alive, you're an asshole when you're dead. And there is no death, but you guys will know what I'm talking about. When you leave physical reality, in physical reality or non-physical reality, an asshole is an asshole. End the story. So even if he is sitting around in some other realm saying, oh, I'm going to get her for all the things he thinks that you did to him, even though it wasn't true, you still have power. He's the only difference between him and you. This is what I'm trying to say to summarize all of this, right? The only difference between you, and this is for everyone, and someone that's passed away, is that you have a physical body and they don't. There's no difference. There's no difference. Your power level is still the same, if not greater than this other person who's in non-physical reality. So we can't give all our power away to all this shit about demons, evil spirits, trapped on earth, all these things. These are very modern concepts that unfortunately have fucked up a lot of people and make them paranoid, But anyway, yeah, that's what I have to say on that. I want to cut this video short because I really want to try to give you guys a treat and make another video back to back. So, yeah. All to summarize, all these people we're talking to in the dream states and astral realms, real, yes and no. But it really is, I know this might seem like a cop-out, but it's not. It really is up to you to determine it. And you know it by the emotional feeling behind it. If if your mother passes away and you contact her in a dream state and you start talking to her, you will feel it. Don't worry about, oh, she had a different face, her hairstyle. My mother's white, she has blonde hair. My mom had dreadlocks in this story, and she had nappy hair, and she had no hair. You gotta forget about all that, man. You have to be able to use your inner senses. Because going back old school, I used to talk about the inner senses, and this is still real. You have to be able to see beyond the camouflage, beyond the physical imagery. You gotta go with your emotions. Your emotions, man. Your emotions have more validity than your five senses. And you have to always remember that. That's why they say follow your heart, follow your gut, follow your instincts, because that is more valid than what you see in front of you. You can see, taste, and touch. The five senses are important, but only within physical reality. When you're dealing with non-physical realities, non-physical entities, it's all about emotions. It's all about emotion, not about what you can see or what something looks like. You go by how you feel and what you're picking up intuitively and emotionally and energetically. That's what it's about. But yeah. It really is up to you to find out who you're talking to. But through your own experiments, like I've done them plenty of times, where you contact people in non-physical realms and then you verify. That's why you got to get your little groups together I talked about, or at least one person that you can connect with on the same level. And you talk about this stuff, and then you can, verify and validate each other's, private experiments with each other. And you say, oh yeah, well, this is true. This is what happened. I had this experience in mine, and you had yours, and you line them up together, and you see where the correlations and the common points of connection. All right. I hope that helped you guys. Like I said, I just woke up, so I hope I wasn't just ranting away. Gypsy Rose, I really hope that I helped you, sister. And AYY Limao, I hope that I gave you some insight into your question, which was really just my opinion. That's all any of us really have is our own interpretation of reality. But I hope that helped a lot of you out there. I'm gonna end this video and I'm gonna try to come back with one more. Love you guys. SUMARI to everybody out there. And yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute. Later.